But we are Prophet Gayu, and I got a special guest, Q from United. I'm leaving these United States of America.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, first of all, before we do anything, did you feel the earthquake about 20 minutes ago?
I felt it, man. I was in the bathroom, and until you said something now, I
Yeah,
didn't think nothing of it. Bro. I didn't even consider it to be nothing other than something was happening in the building. But now that you say that, I can't imagine what would make the building move like that.
exactly. So I used to live in Peru. So in Peru is right on that Pacific coast. So there they get earthquakes all the time. I mean, when I was there, man, we got an earthquake at least once a month, right?
So, what is the impact of that? Is something messed up somewhere?
No. Because at least on Peru is on that. It's a part of that. What they call it, the Pacific plate. So
Okay.
everything on the Pacific plate, like down from Chile, going north all the way through Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, Central America, California, you know, they're all on that Pacific plate. So it shifts a lot, like that
Wow.
plate, all the time. So that's why I think, but most of the earthquakes are like very small, like 2.0, 3.0. But while I was at in Peru, there was a lot of mountains, so you can actually hear the mountains move. They have a roaring sound, like
Wow.
when it moved. But I mean, it was normal. I mean, only that one time in 2007 when they had that big earthquake, like 7 point something on the Richter scale, where it destroyed a lot of like homes and a lot of people died, stuff like that. But apart from that, man, it was just like a small one. So when I felt this, I felt like, man, that normally I don't feel it when we get an earthquake here. But that time I was sitting down and I felt it. I was like, look, there is no way this building is moving like that. And it's not even storming outside. If it was storming and there was like a lot of wind, I'd be like, yeah, it's the wind. Or if there was a plane coming by, a vibration from the plane, oh, it's the plane. But no, it actually moved like back and forth like this, the building.
Like I said, man, I felt it, but I didn't even consider what it would do.
All right. That's definitely you. But it's all good. But hey, man, what's up, Gil? So let's jump into this, man. I got this topic because this topic is very important, and it comes up a lot when I talk to people about living here in DR or living abroad in general. So it's this peace of mind and how to maintain that peace of mind while you're in paradise, whether you're in the Dominican Republic or elsewhere. But before we get too deep into the topic, I want to learn more about you. I want to introduce you to my audience. A lot of folks know who you are, and a lot of folks that are subscribed to my channel, follow my channel, follow your channel as well,
Okay.
including Gil. So,
What up,
well,
Gil?
go ahead, man. Just tell us about yourself. Like, go ahead.
Okay, man. I'm gonna try not to be too boring, man. But many people don't know this, but I was born in Chicago, Illinois. I don't claim it. It was so horrible. It was so cold. I was poor, man. I hated it. So in 1978, my family moved to Atlanta, Georgia. I call Atlanta, Georgia home, and I lived there until I joined the army. 1 month after high school graduation, I was in the army. So Atlanta is home. After that, I lived all over. I had no intentions of staying in the military. I went in the military because I was poor. I needed a job. I knew nothing about the flag, esprit de corps. I didn't join because my grandfather served. None of that stuff. I needed a job. I had no intentions of staying in. But once I saw how easy it was, I said they was gonna have to put me out, and I did 22 years.
Wow, 22. So was it the military? Go ahead, man.
I went in when I was 17 and I retired at the age of 39. So I retired 1 September of 2006 as a master sergeant. I got selected for the Sergeant Major's Academy, but it's weird, man. I was messed up mentally and physically from going to combat and stuff, man. And some of the stuff I saw, if I had selected to go to the Sergeant Major's Academy, after I completed the Sergeant Major Academy, I would have incurred 2 more years of service.
Yes.
If I got promoted to Sergeant Major, I would have incurred 3 more years of service. So, man, I would have ended up, and I was messed up, man. At the end of my career, probably in year 21, I couldn't control my bowels, man. I was defecating in my clothes. I was messed up, bro. I was messed up. Many people, I haven't shared that story, but I was messed up.
We're going to get back to that because that is very much connected to the topic here. Very much connected. We're going to get back to that. So, do you think it was your military experience that got you into traveling?
I would have to say yes, because prior to going in the military, I didn't have any money to travel. I didn't have a means to travel. So yes, the military is the reason I've been to probably 41 states in probably 5 or 6 countries. Yeah, because of the military.
Yeah.
And okay, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Continue. I want you to talk about this.
And guys, it was just, if I can tell any young person, give them any advice, when you graduate from high school, get out of your city and state. Go to college, go in the military, go somewhere, but get away from those things that's going to keep you doing nothing.
Agreed. So, you got out of the military fairly young. I mean, I'm not 39 yet, but I'm approaching it. But that's fairly young.
Yes.
What did you want to do after that? Like, what was your plan to, after you got out of the military?
So, my plan was to work, but man, like I said, man, I was living with PTSD, anxiety, depression, and I couldn't find a job, man. I was a poor interviewee. I interviewed poorly, man. So I got this idea, even though I was messed up, I'm going to go overseas as a government contractor. And I did. Mm-hmm. And as a government contractor, I was in Iraq and I got shot in the head. So I was already messed up. I got shot in the head, not when I was in the Army. I got shot in the head as a government contractor in Iraq.
Wow. Well, what now? I assume you had Kevlar. So
I had it in my hand. Bruh, when you get to Iraq, and it's stuff, people are shooting rockets into the camp, and they blow up over there, and things are coming, and stray bullets are shot. You get so lax sometimes that you have a moment where you're not thinking. I was in the parking lot after work talking with a coworker, and bam, hit me in the head. I had my helmet, bro. I had my helmet in my hand.
I mean, what was the recovery like?
Oh, bro. Do you really want to hear this story?
Yeah.
So, in places like Iraq and Kuwait, there's this friction between government contractors and military personnel. Okay. If I had got shot in the head as a master sergeant, it would have been very different. But this is what happened to me. I got shot in the head. I'm holding it. and I went to several clinics that were run by the military to get treatment. Once I finally got one to treat me, at the time I got there, it was about to be a shift change. So it was an E4 and an E5 about to get off. They told me I had to wait until the new shift comes in to treat me. So I'm sitting there waiting. They bandaged me up, stitched me up. So the round did not go inside my head. It hit me right here on this bone and it bounced off. I've got the round in the house. I kept it. So it bust my head open. It didn't penetrate, but it hit me so hard that it was like the impact of a grown man swinging a bat at full speed. That's what. Have you ever seen a person with a vest on get shot and they knock him down? Even though that bullet is so small, the impact of it is like literally being hit with. That's what it felt like. So it knocked me down and it gave me a concussion. So after they treated me, they gave me a prescription to go and get some medicine. Yeah, bro. If I had been in the military, bro, that wouldn't have happened. Now, that's not the end of it. I'm having problems with my vision, my head hurt, and the people I was working for wanted me back at work. So, bro, I'm telling them, look, I can't work. I got to go home. I'm messed up. So I was on a 1-year contract. Government contractors have a very hard time finding qualified people who have a security clearance, a valid security clearance. So they will work. So I was working in biometrics. Mm-hmm. I was the guy who made the ID cards for any civilian to enter all the camps in Iraq. Yeah. Anyone who was going to work for that contractor who wasn't in the military, I was making the ID cards. Okay. So it was a very important. So they were so pissed off at me that I couldn't work. They were supposed to give me a letter clearing me and authorizing me to get on a plane out the country. They kicked me out of lodging. They didn't give me a letter and they didn't get me to the airport. So I had to get to the airport on my own with my stuff, and I didn't have a letter to get on the plane. And that plane was being managed by the military. So I got to the airport. I got in because it was being ran by the military. I talked to some former military people, I talked to some people who were in the military. I showed them my ID, and I told them what happened, and I showed them my head and my passport. They let me enter the area where this sergeant first class was managing the flights. Mm-hmm. Flights for people going home, military, civilian, whatever. I talked to this guy. He was a former recruit. No, I saw his patches, where he was stationed, some of the things he did. I told him what happened. And he said, look, it's on. I'm going to see what I can do for you. Sit here, and when I get a spot, I get you on a plane. Every day, he bought me 1 box lunch. I sat there for 3 days, and he got me on a plane to Kuwait, Camp Arajan, and in Camp Arajan, I caught a cab to the airport in Kuwait, and I caught a flight home.
That you had to pay for?
Yes.
Man, that's rough, man.
Yeah, bro.
Government contractor, they just like what all that happens, man. They use you and abuse you, and when it was time for them to take care of you when you were in need.
Bro, I love the military. I love what I accomplished in the military. I love my career, but the military and jobs, period, are all like that. Yeah. They're all like that. When it's time, bro, You can be the most squared away guy, but when it's time for you to go, don't nobody care about you. Next man up. If you get injured or hurt, don't nobody care about you. Next man up. They only care about you when you're producing for them.
Yeah.
And that's how I got so messed up in the Army. I was so hardcore that I didn't take care of myself because I was chasing rank. You can't make rank if you're injured, going on sick call, having profiles saying you can't run, you can't carry a rucksack. Bro, so through my career, I worked and I fought injured all the time. My advice for anybody in the military, if you fracture your finger, go on sick call, go get it treated, go get it documented.
Yes. Yes. I tell you this, man. My last year and a half on active duty. Of course, I'm about to get promoted to captain, so I'm happy. You know, things are going well. But I met this E7, and he was on his way out. He said, "Look here, man. If you got any issues, you know, with your back, your knees, you know, whatever the case is, make sure you see the doctor for it. Make sure you get it documented. Don't be hard charging and all this stuff. Because just like you just said, once your time is up, they won't forget about you and they worry about the next man coming in."
Bro, I gotta add this because I almost left the military without documenting anything, man. So in my last assignment, I was stationed at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio.
Nice.
I had a cush job. I was working in S2, S3. I was publishing deployment orders for Reserve and National Guard units to go to Iraq and Afghanistan.
Cush job. Cush job.
And in the same, now I had submitted my request for retirement.
Mm-hmm.
It was approved. And in the same system, I was publishing orders for Reserve and National Guard units to deploy. My unit went in there and published an order on me to deploy as a first sergeant to a National Guard personnel service company out of California. And I'm working and I saw it. They also went behind my back and wrote to the Department of the Army to rescind my retirement orders. I'm telling you, man, I was messed up. I was messed up, bro. When I saw that, I was so hurt, man. And so, bro, but it was a blessing for God. It was a blessing from God because I was so hardcore, man. I never went on sick call for nothing. So, bro, that next day, I went on sick call, bro. I went to the clinic and I dropped everything wrong with me, bro. So by the time I left that doctor, they had stamped my medical records as non-deployable. And for the next 6 months, I went on sick call every day. They was mad as hell at me, bro. I was on sick call, bro. I didn't work hardly, bro. I went on sick call every day. And here is an example that they don't care nothing about you. On one of my appointments for my back, I was seeing this lieutenant colonel doctor, and I was telling him about my back. I'm about to separate, and he was telling me that MRIs cost too much money. You can get an MRI at the VA when you, bro. I almost got kicked out the Army, bro. How I went off on this doctor. He was a lieutenant colonel. I was
Doesn't matter.
Bro, how I went off on this. I said, you telling me I served 22 years in the Army? And you telling me I can't get an MRI to document my injury because of how much it costs?
Yeah.
Bro, listen, man. I was processing to retire and I almost got discharged out the Army for disrespecting a field grade officer.
So he complained and he wrote you up?
Hell yeah, he did. But you know what, man? The thing that saved me, man, was my record and my career was so stellar, man, that I had a reputation that they was like, we not gonna do this to Masson Brown. We're gonna let him make it.
Yeah.
But bro, what I did was total disrespect and illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I could have went to Fort Leavenworth the way I talked to that field grade officer.
I mean, the way you talk to him, you ain't touching him.
No. But I got my MRIs.
That's what's important.
My chain of command backed me up because of why I did it.
Yeah.
They backed me up because it was emotional, man. It was emotional, bro. Yeah. So because of that, I'm 100%. I didn't start off at 100. I started at 60. Off the back, I got 60. But bro, I was worse off than 60. But the VA ain't gonna never give you what you deserve.
I feel you on that, man. Especially when it comes to they're never gonna get you what you deserve. However, that's why it's important while you're still on active duty or while you're still in the military to have everything documented. Everything documented. If your toe itch, get that documented. Because that one thing may seem small at the time, but 10 years down the road, it could lead to something much bigger.
Everything gets worse as you age.
Exactly. And all this, and I'm setting all this up, Q, because man, all this is related to the topic. It was number one that describes, it shows the path you had to take to get to where you are, right? And it also shows how important, through that path you had to take, how important it is to maintain that peace of mind, maintain that I don't know, this that positive energy, that good state while you're here. Because just because you came here doesn't mean that, it's all, cookies and ice cream, right?
It's an everyday fight, man. Mental health and physical disabilities and injuries, you live with it every day, but it's how you live with it.
Exactly.
It's how you live with it. And one thing about how you live with it is very important is this. If it was up to now, I'm not saying I'm cured, but what I'm saying is it's about your choices. If it was up to the Department of Veteran Affairs and those doctors, I would take 8 different medications twice a day. But I refused. And that's why I had such a hard time getting my disability, because now they tell you we need you to take these 8 medications twice a day, but you shouldn't smoke cigars and drink alcohol.
We're going to talk about that too. I feel you.
Man, if I took that medication, I wouldn't be able to do nothing I do. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be able to do nothing but sit here, eat fast food in front of the TV, sleep, wake up, and get fat.
Yeah. I feel you. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Some of those medications they give you, man, it just makes you like drowsy. It takes away the motivation, and
And man, if you read, bro, I would get medication. Now, I would take it home, and I would go online and read about it.
Yeah.
They gave me a medication for irritable bowel syndrome. So many people, if you don't know what that is, IBS is irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah. Most people have irritable bowel syndrome from food. Mm-hmm. They have reactions to food. Mm-hmm. Combat vets, police officers, or people who have experienced some type of severe trauma, they get irritable bowel from stress. Mm-hmm. They get stress-induced bowel movements from stress.
Yes.
They get irritable bowel and have the sense of, I got to get to a toilet right now from fear and stress. That's my irritable bowel. So that's why I have to stay very, very calm. That's why I work throughout the day to stay relaxed and calm. That's my medicine.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah, and sometimes by you doing what you're doing instead of taking medication is just so much more efficient and it's better for your overall health. You know,
Bruh, medication may help you with this one thing, but what about your liver? What about your kidneys?
exactly.
Bruh, all the medication they wanted me to take, there's no way I could drink enough water to process all that medicine that's going to help my organs stay healthy.
Yeah,
There's no way. It was about 20 pills a day. 20 pills a day is what? 600 pills a month? There's no way I could have had healthy organs taking 600 pills a month.
yeah, man.
And they count. That's what they count on. Bruh, that's what they count on. They don't want you to draw that money until you 90, 100 years old.
You said it.
Bruh,
You said it.
bruh, I retired in 2006.
Uh-huh.
Do you know if I live until I'm in my 90s, I would draw over $5 million from the government? They don't want me to live that long.
Facts. Facts.
My retirement, my VA, and my Social Security, if I draw all that until I'm in my 90s, it will be over $5 million.
Facts. Facts. That's why it's important to get all that stuff documented while you're still in. Get it documented so that you can be taken care of once you leave. Because those issues you have right now while you're in, they're going to follow you and get worse as time goes on. So make sure you take advantage of that.
Everything you have is going to get worse, but you can do things to help yourself live with it. Example, most people take medication for arthritis. Listen, the only and best treatment for arthritis is movement. You got to move. Man, I got arthritis from my feet up all the way through my hands.
Mm-hmm.
But if you sit still, it's going to be painful. If you move around, it's manageable. You can live with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So just before we go further into this topic, I want to go back a little bit and focus on you, so I can walk the audience to how you got to where you are right now.
All right.
So what were you doing before you joined YouTube?
I was living in Dallas, Texas.
Uh-huh.
Actually, yeah, I was living in Dallas, living a retired life,
Mm-hmm.
married, very similar to how I live here, going to the gym, cooking, cleaning my house, taking care of my house, cut the grass every week, taking care of my vehicles, just living.
And then how did you get to the point where you were like, you know what? I'm moving to the Dominican Republic, Boca Chica specifically.
Actually, man, I was going to Vietnam. I'll get to that. Actually, man, I was not happy with my life,
Mm-hmm.
my marriage, the government. I tried to be in a house that before it got dark, problems with the police, problem with white folks. Man, I was just crime, mass shootings, unjust, man, all the killings of unarmed black men, women, and children. Police man, I was just frustrated and angry with living in the United States. So I said, I'm going to leave. I left a 5-bedroom house with a theater room, vehicles, everything I own, with 2 suitcases and left. But I said 6 months out, I'm going to start this YouTube channel. And that's why the name of my channel is I'm Leaving the United Snakes of America. And I just started recording and talking about reasons I'm leaving. And every time I made a video, I said, this is the reason I'm leaving. Then I introduced myself to my audience. And then later, I actually revealed where I was going. And I revealed that I was going to Vietnam. I was not coming here.
Yeah.
I was going to Vietnam, and here's the reason why. First of all, I am a foodie. I'm a cook. I am a culinarian. At 46, I went to culinary school, so I learned how to cook. I can cook, and I researched Vietnam on YouTube, and I said that's where I'm going. One of the biggest reasons was the food, but the real big reason was the money, and I'm gonna talk about that because when I came here, $1 was 58 pesos. $1 in Vietnam was like 230,000 of their thong, their money. So I was gonna come up real big on money. Being in the military, I'm not afraid of new cultures, new food, new people. I didn't care that I didn't know the language. I was going to Vietnam, and when it came time for me to leave, it was during the height of the pandemic. I left August 12th. Well, I left my wife and my house and my life in Texas August 6th. And I went to my brother's house in Atlanta. He gave me one of his bedrooms. I bought a bed. I said, this is going to be my base for when I need to come home. Man, I hope I never have to go back. So anyway, I was in Atlanta. I didn't even stay a week, man. I was ready to go. I didn't even accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish before I left. But he was shocked how fast I left. I came to his house on the 6th of August, and I left on the 12th. So how I ended up in the Dominican Republic, which I had been here before, but I had no intentions of living here. Vietnam and most other countries during the height of the pandemic closed their borders.
Yes.
The Dominican Republic was one of the only countries still letting people in. They didn't give a damn.
It was.
They did not
opened early in July 2020. They opened up, which is like the only country to open up during the pandemic. You're right.
And man, I was here, and it got pretty bad here. I was here, man, and at one point we had a curfew, man.
Yeah.
Bro, the curfew at one point was 12 p.m.
Yeah.
Imagine
Imagine
being in this beautiful country, so much to do, but you got to be in the house at lunchtime.
on a weekend. On a weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
It was 12 o'clock, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, you stuck with it, and now what is it like living in Boca Chica? Now, like, how was your experience now living here?
This is kind of complex to explain, man. So I'm gonna start by saying I actually love Boca Chica, but I'm an absolute boring person, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna step away. Keep talking. I'm right here. Keep talking.
Bro, I am a boring person. I probably hadn't been on the beach relaxing in about over a year because it's very hard to relax on the beach. And I understand that people on the beach are working, but man, it's so frustrating, and you can't relax with everybody asking you to buy something. Everybody wanting to give you a massage. And they don't ask just once. They come by, stand in front of you, and listen, I know they're working. That's how they make their money, but I just don't want to deal with that. Kids begging. Listen, bro. A kid will come by you, stand in front of you while you eating and ask you for something to stand there. And they will sit on the ground until you ask the staff to let them go. So, bro, I give when I want to. You can't make me give, okay? But when I say I love my life, man, I'm in a building that's pretty new and it's sitting and it looks like a sore thumb in an area that's not that pretty. And but man, the reason I love my life, I thought I would miss driving a vehicle. I don't. I walk everywhere I need to go. I walk to get my groceries. I walk to the gym, which is around the corner. If I want to walk to a restaurant, I can. But man, I cook every day. I wake up. Man, I live my life almost like I did when I was in the military, man. I have a training schedule. I have a training schedule, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now, in the military, on that training schedule told you what time you was waking up. You got this 5 minutes to do your hygiene. You got to be at formation at this time, and we're gonna do this all day. And lunch is at this time, and we're gonna do it, bro. I'm very regimented, and if you have a plan for your day, it allows you to accomplish a lot. And people would call me antisocial, and people don't really hardly mess with me no more because um, I'm not on vacation. This is my life. When people come here, I tell them, "You're on vacation. I'm not. Let me go through my day and my routine, and I will get with you later." Because you're living in a hotel. Someone's making up your bed. Someone's washing your clothes. All the food you eat, someone's gonna cook it, take the dishes away, and wash them. So I have to wake up, make up my bed, do my hygiene, go to the gym, go to the grocery store, carry that food home, prepare that food, wash my clothes, clean my apartment. I gotta do all that, and I gotta study this Spanish.
Yeah, man, important, very important, very important. Let me ask you this. You know what? Look, man. Hey, salute, girl. Hey, look, man. I like Boca Chica because Boca Chica is close to Santo Domingo. You can go there. It's a nice area to like relax and get away. However, it's really hard to relax. Well, like you just said, every 2 minutes you got someone asking for a massage. You got someone asking for money. Got someone trying to sell you something. You just can't go. You just can't go to Boca Chica to relax. But I tell you this. I'll tell you this. It is a nice getaway spot from where you in Santo Domingo, man.
Right.
It's a nice getaway spot.
I couldn't live in Santo Domingo. It's too busy for me.
Yeah.
It's too busy for me.
Let me ask you this: have you considered? I know you got a nice spot where you at, but have you considered, going to a place like, you know, what's similar to Boca Chica? Maybe Las Terrenas. I feel like that feel was very similar. If you've been there,
I haven't been there, but man, I'll honestly say that, man, I need to venture out more and check out some places. But I don't want to move, man. Where I live, my landlord and I, man, have such a great relationship.
yeah.
Italian guys, man. When I first got here, they were like picking me because I can't speak Spanish. I was like, man, how long it took you to learn? They said 2 years. Well, I'm like, well, shit, I got another year. So, man, we pick at each other, man, and I order stuff from Amazon, and they send me with the boxes. They'll send me a picture and ask me, hey, man, can you order this for me from Amazon? I said, yeah, I ordered, and they pay me, bro.
That's
Cool,
good.
dude.
That's
Cool,
good.
bro. Anything I need fixed, they get on it.
That's good. And I think the good thing about being in Boca Chica too is it's close to the airport and it's close to Santo Domingo. So you got to go into Santo Domingo, and Santo Domingo has everything. So if you ever have to go to Santo Domingo, you're close by. So that's the good thing about Boca Chica.
I used to go out to Price Mart, man, and when I added up the costs just for myself, paying for the membership, paying for the transportation there and back, and then paying the high cost of food coming from America, guys, it didn't add up. Plus, it's not as healthy. And I'm going to tell you why. A chicken in the Dominican Republic is less than 3 pounds. If you look at a chicken, it's barely 3 pounds. You may see a 3-pound chicken. Chickens in America in a price mark, big as hell. Those chickens are injected with steroids, this, that. Bro, chickens here are small because they're healthier. And something else, if you buy some chicken or beef here, you got to cook it. I can't go buy a lot of food and decide I'm going to cook this. No. If you buy some chicken here and it's in the refrigerator, it ain't no good in about 3 days. You got to cook it.
Yeah.
Because it's not injected with stuff to make it last longer.
Yeah.
Like in the United States.
That's true. I think Price Smart it could be more advantageous if it's like Costco, like you're buying a higher quantity for maybe a larger number of people. I don't go to Price Smart. Well, I go to Price Smart, but I don't buy much from Price Smart simply because it's expensive. You're better off going to a supermarket like Bravo or something like that.
It's expensive, bro.
But if you want to get U.S. products, that'd be the place to go because that's like the place where you'll get the U.S. products from the U.S.
U.S. products and high quality. But bro, when I go to Santiago, the Bravo and their grocery stores, same quality as Price Mart. Their grocery stores, man, where I go, man, it meets my purpose. But in Santiago, their basic grocery stores are as good as Price Mart.
Yeah, I agree. Now, there's some stuff that I like to get from Price Mart just because you can buy higher quantity and like for me, lotion. Like I want to get my lotion from Price Mart because they have the high quality lotion there. Where in some of these stores they don't really have that high quality lotion. I got super dry skin. But I will tell you this: Boca Chica gets a bad rep, but I enjoy it. Yeah, it does get a bad rep. It does. But I mean, Cuba's there, and he's there for a reason because there is some good in Boca Chica.
People who try to give it a bad rep just don't understand.
Yeah.
The people who irritate you at the beach, that's their job. Exactly. That's how they eat. That's how they take care of their family. So it's just a part of it that you got to. I just choose not to deal with.
Yeah.
I had not been on that beach in over a year. I didn't move here for the beach. I can't swim. I'll play in the water. I'll walk through the sand, but the beach is not that important to me. What's important to me is the gym, the grocery store, how I get my money, how I get my cigars and my whiskey.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that too. We're gonna get to that too real soon. But hey, I do want to say that place you took me to in Boca Chica, man. I go there whenever I go to Boca Chica. I go there. Before I would go to Bocano.
Yes.
Or I go to Vista Mar, whatever. One of those two restaurants, man. Super expensive, but it's right there on the water. It's nice. You can enjoy yourself. However, the place you took me to, man, small, low key. That's my spot now.
I like that spot, bro.
Yeah, that's my spot now. Yeah, they inject the chickens with hormones in the States. True. If you ever go to, there's many places you could go to, but I realized that the KFC in the U.S., it's not real chicken. And it's like, it tastes like it's artificial.
Listen, man. Tell me what part of the chicken nuggets come from.
I always thought chicken nuggets were like ground chicken. Like the ground chicken, all parts of the chicken, then it just like ground beef or ground chicken.
I don't think it's real chicken.
It's probably not. It's probably not. But I don't eat that garbage anyway.
No.
So next question, man. I know you just said that you should get out more, but you don't get out more. Well, what do you like most about the DR, and which part of DR do you prefer the most?
So you asked what I like most about the DR.
Yeah,
And which location I like?
exactly, the most.
Man, I there are a combination of things that I like about Boca Chica. Well, mostly is it gives me the opportunity to just have an easy, slow life. No
Gotcha.
hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
There's no, man, I don't do nothing I don't want to do. I don't feel no pressure on the holidays
Yeah.
to cook this massive meal. On last Christmas, I had pizza.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving, I had a hamburger. Man, it's just, it is so relaxing and peaceful.
Good, man. Good. And that's what you came here for, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of folks come to DR or come to some of these other places, because they want to have a peaceful, relaxing lifestyle.
Many people come here to party and have a good time, bro. There are people who live here like me, and they act like they on vacation every day. They here for a good time.
Yeah.
Bro, my good time is taking care of my health and my body and my mind.
Yeah. Facts.
Because I want to do it for, bro. Most of the men you see here are old and sick. Most of the men are aging bad. They're sick. They're walking on canes. They overweight and they sick.
And they drink a lot. Yeah.
Bro, I drink every day. But you know what? They be at the Camados all over at 9 o'clock in the morning drinking beer. Rum on the beach. Drink. Listen, man. I drink, but I spend all day preparing my body for alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
At the evening, after all my work is done, after eating good, drinking water all day, I have some whiskey, bro. Every day.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask you about that too. But first, I'm gonna ask you this: what are some of your biggest challenges being in DR?
I really can't say, man, I've had any. If any, and it's been minor, man, is not being able to speak Spanish. And for over almost 2 years, I made no attempt.
Yeah.
I made absolutely no attempt because no one made me. I could go and get some food. I didn't have any problem getting my money. I didn't have any problem with girls. They don't give a damn if you can speak Spanish. But it'll help. But so, and that's one thing, but it really has not been a problem. The next thing I would say is, and it's minor, if you learn pretty fast, everyone thinks you're rich and wants your money. Yes. And a lot of people you wouldn't expect professional people in professional careers and industries to be so dishonest and thieves and will steal from you. Mm-hmm. And until you learn, you might get jacked up for some money by a professional who you would have thought wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Now, every day, regular people go always ask you for money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anybody you deal with on any level is coming at you for money at some point. Yeah. Any Dominican that you befriend, sooner or later, they go ask you for money, bro. Sooner or later it's coming. So that could be something, I guess I got, but if you don't know how to say no, you go give away a lot of money.
Yeah, I agree. And so Scott Sasquatch, hey man, thanks for tuning in, brother. He said, always keep your guard up, man.
Yeah.
Always keep your guard up. And I want to say, he said, Gil said, peace of mind is a vacation. it's definitely a vacation because once you're there, you're never going to want to leave that peace of mind. Once you get peace of mind, and I think that's why a lot of folks when they move to when they visit the Dominican Republic or some of these other countries, then they go back to the States. It's like that country is calling them. You know, it's like they got to go back because it has such a peace of mind that they cannot get in the U.S.
How I knew I wasn't leaving, man, was when I got here, it felt like I had a weight, like a 30-pound weight, just sitting here all the time, man. And man, after a few months, I just felt it sliding off, bro.
Yeah.
That pain and that stress, bro, it just went away. I knew I wasn't leaving. And then I purposely came here on a one-way ticket.
Uh-huh.
I came knowing that my passport was going to expire. So I came August 12th. My passport expired September 28th. I knew it was going to expire, but I had to get the hell out of there. And my first apartment I moved to, I signed a 1-year contract. I had no intentions of leaving. So a 1-year contract says it doesn't matter if I like it or not, I got to stay.
Yeah. Tracking. And that's why Ramona says you should leave Boca Chica. But Boca Chica is home for you right now. And, you have your ties there. However, I'm sure that you'll be checking out other parts of the country like Punta Cana.
Bro, that's like her. That's like me telling her, leave where you are or don't date that guy you with.
Uh-huh.
That makes no sense for somebody to tell me what to do.
No. I think, and I know
English is saying, he's saying it's better over there.
Yeah.
But what might be better for you ain't
Exactly.
necessarily better for me.
Exactly.
See, better for me is simple. Better for me is calm. Better for me is relaxing.
Yeah.
Better for, bro, I'd be so cool, man, if I didn't have to, bro. I'm good.
Yeah. Gil says, I drink beer daily, but I work out 90 minutes a day. Well,
man,
that's good.
Beer make me fat. I can drink 1 beer a week, man.
But
I got plenty of beer in my house. I got plenty of beer in my refrigerator for my guests. But, bro, I can drink maybe 1 beer a week. It makes me fat, bro.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like beer makes you a little more healthy. But Gil, I think Gil was like one of them big dudes with girth. So I guess that's what beer does to him, along with the 90. Yeah. So I hear you, brother. So Sky Squad says I agree with you, Ramona. Boca Chica isn't the best spot for expats, but like you just said, hey, for some folks it may be better. For some folks, it's not. So
I love it, but see, the reason I love it is I don't deal with the Duarte and the beach.
Yeah.
If you come here and you deal with that, you're gonna have a negative impression of Boca Chica. Yeah. You're not gonna want to come back. I don't deal with that, man. Only time I deal with that is when some people from the United States visit me. Uh-huh. They want to go down there. I go down there with them. If they're here a week, maybe I go down there once or twice with them. That's it. I do it for them.
Yeah.
But I don't need to socialize. I don't need to do none of that.
So with that said, yeah, you gotta do what's best for you, Q, says Gil. And he also says, I can't take that hard liquor though. Let me ask you this. Is the yard now your permanent home? Like this is home now?
Yes. I hope I never have to leave.
Good. I'm saying so like Vietnam is no longer like the plan. Like there's no plan.
I'm glad I didn't go there.
Yeah. Gotcha. Good. So let me ask you this. You traveled to a lot of countries in your lifetime, but now you're here in paradise. However, do you still travel now that even though here is home? Do you still travel to other countries?
Yes. In June, I'm going to Mexico.
All right.
A friend of mine is having his 10th wedding anniversary there.
Okay.
I went to his wedding 10 years ago in Mexico, so I'm going back to his 10-year celebration.
What part of Mexico?
I'm not positive,
Gotcha.
but it is the week of July 4th.
Gotcha.
So I'm going there. I'm a fan of Cuba because I smoke cigars. I like Cuban cigars. I like that rum.
Yeah.
I like that Cuban rum. So I plan to go back to Cuba.
They got direct flights from Santo Domingo, just so you know, with Cubana Airlines.
Okay. I want to go to Colombia, but it seems very dangerous. So I'm not going to put myself at risk for that.
Gotcha.
And I plan to go to Africa, Brian.
Yeah.
So yeah, I plan to leave here. I plan to live here, man. And also, I want to go to name that country.
Where?
I'll think of it.
All right.
It's where I'll think of it.
Gotcha. I'm pretty good with countries, so you give me a clue, I can help you out.
It's a guy who has a channel there, and it starts with Thailand. I want to check out Thailand because, man, I don't think I will ever get married again. I'm still married. I just left her ass. She wouldn't sign a divorce, so I just took 2 suitcases, put some shit in it, and left. So, man, I don't think I'll ever get married again, but I hear that the women over there are very traditional.
Yeah.
Good women. I just want to go see.
Yeah. I've heard that too. X Strowman says, "What up, Q? What up, Profe?" And so Suicide Squad says, Belize. Check out Belize.
Belize, man. I hear that the heat is miserable, the mosquitoes are bad, and the exchange rate is awful, man. The only way I go to a country is if I come up on my money.
I got you. I feel you.
The exchange rate in Belize is not good. It's not good.
You'll come up in Thailand, though. I'll tell you that. In Thailand, you'll come up.
Not in Belize.
But
I don't even want to visit, man. I don't even want to visit a country where the U.S. dollar isn't good. I don't even want to visit. I don't.
Hey man, definitely, man. Check out Brazil, man. Brazil is in favor of the U.S. dollar, man, and it's cheap out there too.
I follow that. It's about half of what it is here. So last time I checked, well, when I came here, $1 US was 58 pesos.
Yeah.
In Brazil, $1 US was something like 25 to 28.
Five.
Yeah. See, that ain't good.
It is good. It is good because it used to be 3 and it used to be 4.
Bro, that's not good to me.
I got you.
Me now, where I understand you do well in Brazil is housing costs isn't that expensive. I heard to rent an apartment isn't that high.
Products and services too. Because Brazil is huge. Yeah, Brazil is almost the same size as the U.S. So they do a lot of manufacturing, and most things come from Brazil itself. That's how come you get a lot of cheap prices in Brazil. So my man,
I feel spoiled, man. I feel spoiled.
Yeah.
$1 and 50-something pesos. If the country can't beat that, I really don't want to go, man.
I feel you, brother. Hey, the Filipino peso is about the same weight of the Dominican peso, just so you know. So that's also another option as well. They're like 1 to 1.
Now,
go ahead.
Hey, bro, I don't travel for women, but I'm not attracted to Filipino women.
Gotcha.
I don't have a problem with them. I don't think they're ugly, but I'm just not attracted. I don't travel for women. I travel mostly for for food.
Yeah.
But I don't have a desire to go there.
Gotcha. My man Gil says, yeah, Casa going to Thailand. The flight time is the turn for me now. Yes. I've been in the Philippines and Japan and Korea. And yeah, you're talking about like 13, 14, 15-hour flights.
Man, bro. When I flew to Iraq and Kuwait, it was longer than that. So I wouldn't have a problem with that. Only thing with that, man, is when you make those type of trips, you can't go for a week because you're spending 2 days traveling.
Yeah.
You gotta have some time. So let's go add on to how much money you spend.
Yeah.
Staying there longer in the hotel, you spending more money on food, you spending more money on living. So it's a very expensive trip because if you go for 1 week, you only sitting still for 4 days.
Yeah. Even if you go to Thailand and Thailand is much cheaper, you're still spending quite a bit of money because of the time you're going to be spending there.
To make it worth your while, you got to stay 2 weeks.
Yeah. Facts. We'll be balling in Thailand for sure. I'm going to get there one day. So Sasquatch, I was stationed in Okinawa and Korea. Those flights are no joke. Yeah, man. It's far.
Man, hey, what I like about those flights, man, the planes are bigger, you have more space, and they bring you a lot of damn food, man. They feed you meals and snacks. They just keep coming.
One thing you're forgetting, man, is the miles. The frequent flyer miles. Oh, yeah, you get a lot of miles for those trips, man.
You know what, man? I've never gotten into that and paid attention to that. I just never have.
Brother, you missing out. That's the difference of you having an elite status for the airline and you buying that coach ticket of like $200 and they automatically upgrade you to first class. You know what I mean? Or you buy that coach ticket for $800 and they automatically upgraded you to first class, especially if you're flying from New York to Korea. That's a long. That's what 13, 14, 15 hours. Yeah, it's nice.
So I better educate myself on that, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And also remember, whenever you're in the airport and you got those long ass layover times, 3 or 4, and maybe even like 6 hours. Man, you can spend that time in the lounge, right? You spend that time in the lounge, elite lounge, and you eating food for free. You drinking your refreshments and beer, wine, hard liquor for free. And you're not surrounded by people who all up on you. And you know how it is in the airport. You got your space. Yeah, man, it could be nice. It could be nice, all man. All right, let me check on some of these. Sasquatch. Yeah, me too. I've been in the Philippines for years, but I'm more of a South American guy and Caribbean. Yeah, me too. I'm surprised you're still in Boca Chica. I would expect you to move to Santo Domingo proper.
I was going to move to Santiago, man. I had a little something going on up there. I liked the area, but it fell through. But man, I'm glad I did, man. I love my plain, easy life in Boca Chica.
Yeah. I do want to say this. Ramona mentions Monte Cristi. Visit Monte Cristi.
Yes, man.
Monte Cristi is dope, man. It's small, it's far, but it's dope.
I'll put that on my list, man. Bro, I have no problem hopping on that bus. I catch that bus. I go to Santo Domingo, hop on that bus, and I go places. I don't mind that.
But I'm telling you, Monte Cristi is one of those places where you're gonna be getting on a bus, getting off, getting on the bus, getting off. It's 6 hours away from Santo Domingo. So you're thinking, how the hell am I going to be on in a car or in a bus and travel 6 hours and still be in country? Yeah, you can, because it's at the very top northwest corner, right beside Haiti. So that's why.
Cold there?
Huh?
Is it cold?
Nah, it's not cold, man. It's hot. It's very similar to Puerto Plata, but it's drier. it's more desert, and they got like the mangroves. They got like mangroves over there. Some nice mountains, and you can see over yonder. You can see some islands, and you can see Haiti. Yeah,
I'm not much of a sightseer. If I go somewhere,
that's
I want
food.
to have a purpose to go.
There's some nice, interesting food places over there too in Monte Cristi. All right,
Right.
so let me go further. Let's see. All right, man. So let me ask you this: what would you say to single men, or specifically black single men, or specifically single military vets? What would you say to them who are thinking about relocating to the Dominican Republic?
Um, Especially to my military vets, guys.
Mhm.
If you are a disabled veteran here in the country, man, I don't care where you live in the country, we have health care. There's an agency here called WellVet. They are in Santo Domingo and Santiago. You register with them, you send them a copy of your disability letter, and they will treat you for your injuries and illnesses that are covered under your disability. So, guys, that's one reason why lots of veterans are stuck in the military because they weren't about health care, not being able to go to the VA. Guys, I I was there yesterday. If I want them, the doctors will do a house call and visit me in my apartment. Okay, so that's the one piece of advice I would give to um, my veterans. Um, the advice I would give to men, and this is based on my interaction with men from my YouTube channel and
Mhm.
people I meet. Guys, do not move here for women. Do not move to any country for women. And do not put the cart in front of the horse. Guys ask me, how do I find a good woman? How can I find a wife in the DR? And they don't even have a place to live yet. They don't even have a bank account. They haven't learned Spanish. Guys, come here, get your infrastructure in place and live. Women are gonna be the least of your worries or your biggest problem. They go fall out the sky like rain. They're everywhere. So don't focus on women. Focus on getting somewhere to live. Find out where you go get your food, how you go get your money. Is it all that stuff? That's my advice.
Very important. I think that's probably one of the best advice I ever heard anyone say is come here, build your infrastructure, learn Spanish before you even think about stuff like that. Because that stuff shouldn't even be important. You should be focusing on yourself and getting yourself put together before you can think about building a relationship with someone else. Man, facts, man. Facts. So Suicide Squad. Q, what are some of your activities besides going to the gym?
Okay. Cooking, cleaning, washing clothes. Um, I watch a lot of television since football season is back. I'm stuck on the couch all day Sunday, Thursday night football, Monday night football. But guys, mostly all I do is focus on my health and fitness. When I'm eating breakfast, I'm prepping lunch. I'm getting my smoothie ready. I'm planning in my head what I'm gonna cook. So guys, I'm really a boring person unless someone visits me from the United States. I don't go out. I cook all my meals. I On Sunday I'll have a pizza. Other than that, I cook all my meals. So basically, guys, my activities are absolutely nothing but taking care of me and eating good.
Those are good. Good activities. Extra.
And
I'm gonna get to
managing my health. I call that managing my physical and mental health. I want to live, man. I want to live, man. And science tells us that if we eat well, drink a lot of water, and exercise, you have a better opportunity for a higher quality of life.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I think all men should strive to one day be boring. If you always have to be doing something and having entertainment, women require constant entertainment. That's why they can't never put their phone down.
Mm-hmm.
Men should not require constant entertainment. You should do what you have to and then sit down.
I agree, man.
Find somewhere to sit down, man.
Hey, Extrola, I'm gonna get to your question in a sec, but I wanted to make sure I hit this one point off real quick. So you mentioned that you go to like a VA clinic, third party VA clinic here, and basically they take care of your medical needs. And me,
Yes.
I go to that same medical clinic. You know, you said you was there yesterday. I was like, yeah, I was there yesterday. Well, now I was there on Thursday. But would you say that as a disabled veteran that it's been easy getting your medical attention here?
Bruh, it's the highest quality level medical care I ever experienced in my life. I got my doctor's phone number. I can text him a picture of something. He say, I'll send you a prescription. When you in that office and they talking to you, they looking at you, they care about you. And guys, I know the deal, okay? The VA allows them to treat us.
True.
And they bill the VA for the same rate that healthcare costs in the United States. So they make more money than other doctors and clinics in the Dominican Republic. So I know they're getting paid to take care of us really well, but you can tell they care about you. Listen, they care about you. And if you go there in the morning before your appointment, you can have breakfast, coffee, juice, toast. If you're there around lunchtime, in Santiago, man, I'll have a dinner appointment. I'll get there an hour early. You can work out in there. They'll ask you, Mr. Brown, do you want lunch? They will give you menus and you can order lunch. And then you go to your appointment. How was your appointment, Mr. Brown? Would you like a massage? Go back there and get a bro. Listen, man. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. And bro, I'm gonna tell you something, man. You gotta promise you won't tell nobody I told you this. One day I was in there, and this veteran that goes there, his wife is having a procedure at a hospital in the city.
Mm-hmm.
But she had to have some pre-op stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
They did it for his wife, bro.
Yeah. They
And
look out for you.
Bro, listen, man. I'm not telling you that they're gonna do that for somebody else, but I just know his wife wasn't a veteran. And they took her back there and they did whatever they needed to do for her, and they did it because she was married to a veteran. I'm not saying they do that.
Hey, Q, remember, I'm married, so I know. And I go there, so I know. I know. But nah, man, thank you for explaining that, man. I appreciate it. So you said all the good stuff about the medical attention here that you're getting here in DR. What have been some of the challenges?
Pardon me?
What have been some of the challenges for getting medical attention here? Or has there been any challenges?
Not after I found out about WellVet. And
Okay.
I found out about WellVet very soon.
Okay. All right. I hope you guys hear that there are no medical challenges here when you are a disabled veteran and you are connected with a WellVet or maybe some other similar clinic.
Also, guys, that doesn't only apply to here. If you think about moving overseas, they've got something called the Federal Medical Program.
Mhm.
You register online.
Mhm.
And once you get your certification, wherever you are in the world, you go to the hospital or the doctor in your area and you show them, I am a member of the federal medical program. This is the letter that shows everything that the VA will reimburse you for,
Mhm.
treat me for. If they say yes, they will treat you and bill the VA.
Yes. Yes. There it is.
It
But
doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't have to be a well-vet clinic. It could just be a regular hospital.
yeah.
You enroll, you get your letter saying you're in this program. These are all the things that treatment center can treat you for, and they'll be reimbursed by the VA.
Mhm.
And if they say yes, we'll take this, boom.
That's very important. That's why I had to ask that. Hey, X Trolling says, Q, what would you do differently if you were moving to DR today based on your experience living here? And just so you know, X Trolling is want to be moving here at some point. So
Outstanding.
yeah, he wants to know.
Um, Two things. One, I would have learned as much Spanish as I could before I came.
Mhm.
And you're gonna disagree with me on this one, but before I moved here, I started the process to be a permanent resident,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's necessary. You don't even get a discount on mangoes if you're a resident. So, bro, it means bro, you go save some money on exit fees, but other than that, you don't even get a discount on goddamn mangoes. They still don't like you, so ain't I don't now. My man thinks 100% differently about that, and I understand why. He's explained it. I heard everything he said, but it was a waste of money and a waste of time, and I wish I hadn't done it.
Let me ask one question. Did you spend money?
Yes, I don't speak Spanish. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. When you're in a foreign country and
Yeah.
don't speak the language, sometimes it's better to pay a person who know the language and who know how to maneuver through all the politics and everything that has to be done to get done what you need done. But you fluent. Bro, you read the forms. You know where to go. Bro, I needed somebody to hold my hand and walk me
Yeah.
through all those steps. So
I
yeah,
I agree. I agree. Being able to speak Spanish helps, but I'm still a foreigner, and they remind me of that every day.
but that's all right, bro. You still listen. I don't care what race you are or where you come from.
Yeah,
You better off if you, bro. There are Chinese here who speak Spanish,
yeah.
so it don't matter where you from. If you can speak Spanish, you better off. Period.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. It definitely helps, man. It definitely helps. Hey, Gil says, bruh, you are where a lot of us are striving to be. Q, I'm here living in the DR just like you. I'm striving to be where you are. So
I don't understand that.
now,
You, bro, you got a family. You got a wife.
yeah,
You sit down and watch TV and have conversations, eat meals with people. I'm
yeah.
by myself.
Which hey, sometimes it's gonna be by yourself, man.
I love it, man. I love it. If I have a visitor, it's if I want a visitor. And when I
Yeah,
say it's time to go, it's time to go.
yeah. Exactly. 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 But that's all I'll say about that. But hey, man, exactly. Another question. Assume you are a young brother in your late 30s. You just landed in Santo Domingo to live permanently. What are the first 5 things you should do?
Um, I recommend that you open a bank account. That's one of the first things because that's going to be the cheapest way to get your money. Now, U.S. banks aren't friendly with Dominican banks, so you can't transfer money, but you can wire. You can
Mhm.
wire yourself money to your bank account. Okay. Five things. Um, that's one. And It depends. If you're that age, is your income right? Is your income in place for you to have enough money to function? Now, you just landed. Of course, you got to have some place to live. Um, it's going to be very hard if you don't speak Spanish to get into circles and groups of people, because Dominicans, my opinion, in Santo Domingo, they're in their cliques. They hang out with each other. They don't like just, you're not going to easily just be into groups of Dominicans socializing, having a good time.
Correct. I have a caveat to that, but go ahead.
Because lots of people asking me, man, how do you find a professional woman, like a professional doctor, attorney, this person? I said, bro, they're in their groups. Most foreigners date just everyday regular women that they see and meet, because those professional people with higher paying jobs and careers, they're in those cliques with other people who make that type of money. That's where they are. So like in America, you may see a guy who make a whole lot of money mess with some women who don't make a whole lot of money, or some women who are actually poor. But here, people with good jobs and wealth, they mess with people with good jobs and wealth. You don't have access to them.
Woo! You know what? I'm so glad you just said that, because that is mostly true. That is mostly true. And I think people coming in from the United States or from other countries moving to the Dominican Republic, they assume that I got some money in my pocket. You know, I got a certain status, that all of a sudden I'm elevated to that level of that group of people.
Right.
Not the case.
And this is just my opinion.
It's fact.
This is just my opinion, what I'm about to say.
Okay.
A Dominican woman, deep, and this does not apply to all women, okay? Deep down inside, a Dominican woman wants and prefers and would like to have a Dominican man.
Preach.
Deep down inside, I believe that's what they want. I believe they mess with foreigners out of necessity. They mess with us because there simply are not enough men in the caliber of what they want. Women here, Dominican women who have wealth, they don't mess with foreigners. For the most part, you see them with Dominican men, because deep down inside, that's what they really want.
You know what?
I think they date us out of necessity.
There is a lot of truth to that, but I would say this, and I'm gonna go back to something else you said earlier. Dominican women want someone that they can identify with.
Okay.
I would say that, and for the most part, of the Dominicans, right? But also, I feel like it could be Venezuelans, right? It could be even be Haitian or Colombian or even European or whatever. But they have to be a person they can identify with. Right. And sometimes, if you don't know enough about Dominican culture, if you don't know enough about the language, if you don't know enough about just what Dominicans identify with, it makes that more of a challenge.
It makes it a very hard. And see, that culture thing is the biggest challenge that a foreigner is going to have with a Dominican. And well, I'll say this: culture and money is going to be one of the big problems. And the biggest thing with culture is foreign men try to jump into relationships too soon before they understand the culture. And instead of being her mate, her boyfriend, or her husband, you're acting more like her daddy. You're trying to change her everything her grandmama did,
Yes.
her mama did, and now she's 30 years old. She's been cooking this like this her whole life. She's
Yes.
been cleaning like this her whole life. She's been doing XYZ. Now you're always standing over her, telling her, I want you to do it like this. I think that's some advice I'm gonna give you. If you start dating someone, just sit back and watch them and let them do what they do. How they some things you may need to say, but just relax and get to know somebody before you try to change who they are, because you can't change a person's culture.
Yeah. You gotta learn. You gotta learn. They're
You
learning from
cannot
you. You gotta
change
learn from
another
them.
person. And if you always standing over somebody, correcting them, you ain't gonna have no type of relationship. She gonna hate you.
There it is. There it is. I want to get back to something you said earlier about there's a certain part of Dominican society where you're not going to be able to enter those circles. Like those circles, you don't have access to uh, some women at a certain professional level or a certain part of society. And I want to say that is almost completely true. However, I can tell you that at least we can meet professional people is by joining organizations, right? Joining local organizations, or simple things, sort of. I don't know if you were into yoga, you know, the yoga studio, or if you go to or take a class at one of the universities, right? And you'll have access to a totally different circle of people. There's many things you can do in Dominican society to sort of rub elbows with people of different levels. But for the most part, like you just said, man, you're not going to have access to those people, man. You just don't, because
And
those people only mess with Dominicans or rich folks or whatever the case may be.
and for the most part, man, most people who have the opportunity to move here are older people like myself.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably not doing some of that stuff you mentioned. Now, that guy who is 30 years old, he may want to take a class in college. He may want to be, but people my age came here to chill.
Yeah, yeah,
So I probably won't ever run into nobody like that.
yeah,
And she's not gonna want me.
yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But
Look,
learn Spanish. You can't really get far in none of that if you don't know Spanish.
man, I learned this a long time ago when I was a young man. Like who, like you,
Yeah,
bro. Don't be trying to go after her.
yeah,
She don't even like you. She don't even talk to you.
yeah. Facts, facts. Let me go ahead and yeah. So you already mentioned that you're learning Spanish. What are some of the things you're doing to improve your Spanish every day?
So I ordered, well, let me tell you the most effective thing I do. I ordered this book online, and it has 20 something short stories in Spanish. So what I do, each each story is short, man. It's if so I get on my laptop and I type out the story. It may be 8 pages long. It's 8 pages only because I have it triple spaced. So I type the whole story in Spanish. Then I print it out and I pull up Google Translate and I copy and paste the whole story in Google and translate to English. And on top of the paper, I write the English on top of the Spanish. And then as I'm reading the Spanish, I'm not only learning how to say the word because I listen to it on Google Translate, then I write it. I'm learning how to spell, read, and write Spanish, and I'm learning how to speak it. That's, bro. I've tried a lot of different things, but this, bro, I think people mess up by just trying to learn words. You got to learn a shitload of words, But you got to learn how to put the and, the, of, with, all those things that go in between words. And you learn how to speak Spanish by reading sentences and phrases, not by just learning a lot of words.
Q, I want to tell you this, man. That is in my honest opinion, based on my experience, I had one day, I was a kid, but I had to learn Spanish too. That is the best technique, man. That's the best technique. It's the best technique.
Most people aren't going to do that because it's too much work. It's too much, man. So I take the story, I type it, copy and paste in Google, and then I get the English, and then I write it.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, it's time consuming, it's tedious, but I think that's helping me.
That's the best technique, and I'll substitute that if it's not a story. That story could be lyrics for a song, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be a news article. It could be many things. However, I want to make sure that people understand this part too. You're in the Dominican Republic, for example. You want to learn the way Spanish is used in the Dominican Republic, because if you start speaking Spanish as if you learned it in some other country, it's not going to all make sense, because the way things are said in one place is not going to be said the same way in another. And it's all Spanish, but it's just all used differently. And you can compare it to how we use English and they use English in England. I mean, it's something like that. But go ahead, brother.
I think you are 100% right, but I want to learn Spanish because I may travel to other Spanish-speaking countries, and that's not go, bro. I want to learn Spanish, and then it's okay if I pick up the Dominican slang to speak with Dominicans. But my focus, I want to learn Spanish, because when I go to Cuba, I want to be able to, they're not going to understand Dominican slang. I want to be able to speak Spanish. Now, do I need to communicate with people here? Yeah, but I need to understand what's Spanish and what's Dominican slang, and I can't use that nowhere but here.
Hey, Q, I'm going to tell you this. You know how in the U.S. you have to learn how to code switch, right? Like in certain groups, you got to learn how to speak this way. You can't speak the same way you speak at work, the way you speak at home or within these groups, and vice versa.
Makes sense.
It's the same. It's the same in Spanish, and I think that even here, that Spanish you would use in certain circles, but if you bring that same Spanish in other circles, man, you're going to be like people. You just got to learn how to communicate and code switch. That's all. That's what I learned,
bro. Yeah. I experience this every day because I can't speak Spanish. I use the translator because people I'm talking to aren't using Spanish. The translator don't know what to do with it. I experience that every day. Bro, sometimes I'd be like, what are you talking about? Can you say that a different way? And bro, I don't care how many times I explain it. I say, look, I don't speak Spanish. Okay, so you can't use cool local slang in a translator because it's not going to understand it. So half the times, man, when I communicate with people, I don't know what the hell they saying.
It's so true. And sometimes they're actually using Spanish, right? But the way they say it is so incorrect. It's incorrect. And probably Google Translate is so incorrect. Google Translate doesn't even know what to do with it because it's just wrong.
And I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm not talking about all people, but a lot of Dominicans are lazy and they misspell words, abbreviate short words. They will abbreviate a word that got 4 goddamn letters in it.
Yeah, man. I've seen that, man. And I want to tell a quick story. I was in an Uber one time when I heard this guy speak, and I was like, dude, where you from? He was like, I'm Dominican. I'm from here. I'm like, no, because I've never heard Dominicans speak such clear and correct Spanish the way you do. Never. He was like, hey, man, that's because Dominicans don't want to speak correctly. That's basically what it boils down to. A lot of Dominicans don't speak and don't want to speak correctly. And it's not because they don't know how to. They don't want to because they got to fit in sort of a crowd to be cool or whatever the case may be.
I think it's lazy, man, because people will abbreviate a word that got 4 letters, man. I'm telling you. Wow.
Yo, so Sasquatch, man, that's hilarious, man.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I often, man, I don't know what the hell they saying.
Yeah, man. It be like that sometimes, even for me, man, because even when I speak, especially if I'm speaking English to a person that doesn't have English as their first language, if I'm speaking English to them, I'm going to do it correctly. I'm going to make sure I spell everything out, spell everything correctly, because I don't want to be, they're going to learn from me, right? I don't want to teach them the wrong way to speak English, you know? But man, they sure will teach you that the wrong way to speak Spanish, though.
Bro.
They sure will.
Bro. I'm used to it, but it was frustrating.
Mm-hmm. But let me ask you this, man, to move on. Why do you do videos from your balcony? Because all your videos, almost all of your videos are from your balcony. Like, how did that start?
I just like sitting out here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than being in an apartment. Lighting is better out here.
Yeah.
I can breathe. And lots of times I'm smoking my cigar.
Yeah. Oh, and you don't smoke inside. You smoke outside.
Yes, I do.
Oh.
And the reason I smoke inside is we don't have like central air here, so the smoke smell isn't up in the system and blowing throughout your house.
True.
I open the windows and they blow right out.
True. That's facts. And what got you into smoking cigars and drinking whiskey every day? Like, how did you start that daily routine?
I've been doing that for probably, man, almost 30 years.
Even while you went in service. Man, how do you smoke a cigar every day and still have the lungs? Well, I guess it doesn't really affect your lungs because you don't smoke it all day, every day.
I smoke 2 or 3 cigars a day. And the reason why cigars don't affect you like cigarettes is people who smoke cigarettes they don't even like cigarettes. Mm-hmm. Every time they draw on a cigarette, they suck it into their lungs. And their body is craving nicotine, and that smoke is going in their lungs. When you smoke a cigar, you smoke it for the taste and the aroma and the smell, and you blow the smoke out. You don't swallow it. You don't inhale. Do you get some smoking? I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
But people who smoke cigars don't inhale.
Yeah.
You draw on it, you taste it, it tastes good, and you blow it out. Mm-hmm. 2 or 3 a day, bro.
So for that simple reason, the difference is cigars and cigarettes is that cigarettes you inhale, cigars you don't. So because you don't inhale, it doesn't have that negative effect on your lungs. So you can still continue to go out there and get that 300 PT score. I'm pretty sure you can still get a 300 right now, can't you?
I probably could.
Yeah.
I probably could.
Good. That's what's up. All right, and the whiskey part, the same thing. So you have one glass of whiskey or one shot of whiskey or a couple shots of whiskey a day.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's your favorite whiskey?
Whiskey, bro. Man, if I showed you my whiskey cabinet, which I'm gonna do.
All right. We're doing a little short house tour.
You go trip out, bro.
Yeah. I want to see this.
Can you see that?
Damn.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see the Johnny Walker. I got one bottle of that too, and you got quite a few Johnny Walkers in there.
I got
Jack Daniels, Gentleman's Jack. I got about six different types of Johnny Walker, man. I got bruh. Listen, man.
Doers. That's a Buchanan too, right?
Bro, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So man, yeah. Each evening after all my work is done, and look.
Look, Spanish. There you go. That shows you that man is dedicated.
Yeah,
that man is dedicated.
Yeah, man. Learn Spanish. I'm gonna learn, bro. I'm gonna be so proud of myself once I can actually say I can speak Spanish.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this: now that you are living alone in DR, what do you do when you feel down or feel lonely, or you're just having one of those days?
I'm not that person, bro. I don't never feel none of that.
Good. And why do you think that's the case?
Because of I keep myself busy, I eat well, and I take care of me, man. Bro, after I work out and I have my breakfast and my first cigar with my coffee, bro, I call that taking my first medication of the day. Take my medicine. In the evening, when I smoke my cigar and have my whiskey, I'm taking my medication.
Gotcha. Which all wraps into the you maintaining that peace of mind while you out there.
Bro, listen, man, I'm gonna tell you right now. When you have mental health issues, PTSD, anxiety, this, that, the worst thing you can do is sit still and have time to think about it.
Yes.
You got to stay busy. You got to have a purpose. You got to get up. Shave your face. Man, every day I shave my face, shave my head. Yeah. Make sure I put on some clean clothes.
Yeah.
Brush my teeth, take a shower.
Yeah.
Bro, if you sit around and think about all the shit wrong with you, that's when you're going to have what you asked me about. Those bad days. I don't have no bad days, bro.
Facts, man. Facts. Though, that's important, man. And I like how you mentioned that just staying busy and having a sense of purpose. And once you have a sense of purpose, you're not gonna, that feeling of loneliness or just feeling down, I feel like you have one of those days. It's not gonna overpower you because you got a purpose for that day. You want to be busy doing something. So you're maintaining focus on something, which is I think is important. And I'm glad you mentioned that. So Chef Q, what is the best plate? What is your signature plate that you prepare?
Man, I really can't say, man. I like everything I cook, man, but the thing that I've cooked for people that they like most, is my salmon croquettes, bro.
Salmon croquettes, and that is your recipe. That's not something that you got from somewhere else.
Well, how I make it is my recipe, but that's a famous American dish.
Gotcha. Salmon croquettes.
Salmon croquettes, yeah.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha.
Man, in February, man, I had to go to the United States for a funeral.
Yeah.
One of my buddies, man, retired, disabled vet, drawing Social Security, disability. He died, man, from diabetes, high blood pressure, sitting on the couch, all that stuff. So, long story short, I took a suitcase empty. And I bought an air fryer, man. I bought that air fryer back, man. I use it every day.
It saves time, man, and it's clean.
Every day I use the air fryer, bro.
Yeah, man. I use mine definitely a few times a week.
Every day.
All right. So I really only got one last question for you.
Really?
But before I go to that question, I'm gonna sort of put all this together right here. So you maintaining, taking care of yourself in a manner so that you can have that peace of mind while you're out there, which is something that a lot of us strive for. A lot of us feel like we're moving towards where you are. Like me personally, I feel like I'm moving towards where you are, but I'm not there simply because one day I still got to work. So dealing with that BS from work while I'm out here takes away from that peace of mind that I could have if I wasn't still working. But we all want to retire and be where you are, right? So what I want to say is that peace of mind that you have, where you can totally focus on yourself and totally leave the BS behind. Whether you're dealing with, I don't know, sometimes some of us got if we're not married, we got a lousy baby mama, or for you ladies out there, baby daddy, whatever, and they're constantly on you about something. Or it could be if you're at work, you got a supervisor or whatever, co-worker that's always, getting at you. Or you just got a bunch of negative people around you and you can't shake it, right? Well, I think when you move here to the Dominican Republic or some other country where you can now let some of those detach some of those strings you have with the United States and all the other nonsense you may have over there, it does add to your peace of mind. So one thing I want folks to get away from this, from all the things that you just said, is that one thing, peace of mind can add years to your life. It can add years to your life when you are taking care of yourself in that manner, right? One thing I want to mention that you mentioned a couple of times in this live is mental and physical health. A lot of people they underestimate the importance of mental and physical health, and you are an example of how being you 54.
I'll be 57 in December.
Jeez, 57. And look at this dude. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Let me add something, man. All those things don't go away and get better simply because you move, man. You still got a lot of work. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, man, the reason why I don't socialize and hang out, because those Americans who live here, they will bring you some of that same shit that they would bring you if you were living in the United States.
Yeah.
If you in those circles of people who always got to meet at the bar, always got to go to this person's birthday party, bro, they in some mess.
Yeah.
Bro, they all going after the same women. They all mess with the same women. It's okay to have a partner too, man. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the reason why I'm to myself a lot, man, because I'm not doing the same thing they doing, but also when people, bro, I've had Americans who out here balling, having a good time, spend too much money and want to borrow. Listen, man, you got to stay away from certain things. Just like in the United States, sometimes you got to cut off family members, man, who mean you harm, who are not good for your mental state.
True.
Okay. Every Dominican woman you meet ain't gonna be good for you. You gotta immediately identify this person gonna be a problem and not deal with them.
True. If they're not adding value to you or to your life, man,
right,
get rid of them.
Things don't get better simply because you move here. You got to do better.
Yeah.
You got to do better, and you got to protect and guard your space and your mental health.
Yes.
You can't let nobody mess with that. You can't let nobody get you off your schedule.
Exactly.
If you got a schedule, I don't care who birthday party it is. I don't care what function going on. If it's happening during my gym time, during the time I got to go to the grocery store, cook, clean, wash, I'm not going.
Yeah.
I don't do nothing I don't want to do.
And that's one of the things too, peace of mind, not feeling like you have that obligation, right? Not feeling like you have that obligation. So when you feel like you have that obligation to so many people, you're taking away, you know, your self interest and your self health.
Bruh, there's this American here. She comes here so often that she has an apartment here. Nice lady. We had breakfast the other day after I left the gym. I checked with her to see if she wanted to have breakfast. She said, "Hey, I see all your videos and stuff. When you go cook?" I said, "I'll cook for you Friday." I said, "Be there at 6 o'clock, man. Yesterday, I cooked more food than I normally cook." Do you know at 6 o'clock, I called her? "Oh, I didn't know it was the day. Let me get my stuff together." I text her. She never came. Bruh, I cooked more food than I needed to cook for me.
Yeah.
Bruh, I cooked, man, I slow cooked a bean dish that had short ribs in it and the meat fell off the bones. I made a avocado salad. I baked some chicken and I made some salmon croquettes. And she didn't even come. Didn't even call me and say, "Hey, I can't make it. Something happened." Nothing. Bro, you can't deal with people, man.
Yeah.
No people.
Yeah.
All the effort I took and make all that food. And I'm not even interested in her. I don't deal with American women. I have no desire. I won't. I'm done with that. I love my sisters to death, but I'm just not, I don't want that. See, you got to be able to walk away from some stuff, bro. That's something I chose to walk away from. I don't recommend that all people do that because I still think Black people need to keep getting married and having children and having Black kids. I believe in Black love. We should keep having that Black unity. But me, I'm out of that game.
Yeah, I understand, brother. I understand, man. I understand. One last thing I want to add to that before I ask the last question is basically problems. And a way to get rid of a lot of the problems that you may have in your life is to keep to yourself, right? You keep to yourself and you focus on you. Like you can definitely get rid of a lot of issues. I mean, and that's one thing I learned since I've been here. But go ahead, man.
I'm only around people I want to be around.
Yeah.
When I want to be around them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And I'll say this. So if you are looking to come to the Dominican Republic to move here or wherever country you're going to, be prepared to find a way to, you can have time for others. And sometimes when you don't know Spanish, for example, you live here, you don't know Spanish, you're going to want to be around a lot of expats because you can communicate, because it feels like a piece of home. And that's cool. But you got to have some boundaries, because a lot of people who move here are not all, but a lot of people are running away from problems at home. And they haven't resolved those problems while they've been here. And they tend to be really problematic people. Go ahead.
I'll say that most people aren't like me. And most people need to be around people. Most people need to socialize. And this is why most people can't move abroad by themselves. Most people, if they move abroad by themselves, they're going to have bad days because they're lonely. They need people. They need to be accepted by groups. They need to socialize. If you need that, you can have it, but you're going to have the same problems you had in the United States. You're going to experience some of the same stuff you experience if you always got to be around people, if you have to socialize.
Yeah, so definitely got to find some sort of boundaries and balance to that, because it's different when you're abroad. Very different when you're abroad, man. But yeah, so to wrap this up, man, I want to ask you, after living in DR for so long, and I know you've been back to the States maybe like once or twice, just once. And you do a lot of good videos, man. A lot of good topics. I mean, I remember, I could tell you when I'm in the office, when I was in the office and I was still in the States, You know, you'll come online. It's like, damn, man, I'm in a meeting, so I turn my phone on, and I'm watching you, and I'm in a meeting, pictures of what you're saying, and all this stuff, right? So I remember, you know, you always come on like during the day, like you rarely came on at nighttime. But you make videos about, if it wasn't about food, it's about, you know, current events. It's about your experiences you're having that you're having after moving here, you know, with some of the challenges or some of the good stuff, or just, you know, whatever the topics may be that concerns expats. But with all that experience, if you could do it all over again, what would you do differently?
Man, absolutely nothing, man, other than learning Spanish, man. That's it. Well, if I had known I was coming here, maybe I would have, maybe not. But man, I can't say I would have did anything different. But what I like about my channel, man, the main mission I want to make people understand. I rarely talk about women. I don't want you to think this country, the only thing it has to offer is women. That's why I don't talk about it. I very rarely talk about women. And if I do, I make sure I say, hey, this does not apply to all women. This does not apply to all Dominican women. So, bro, I'm most proud of, I don't make it about women. Every YouTuber out here, except you, they go through these phases where they dogging out Dominican women, where they trashing out Dominican women. All Dominican, no, they're not. All Dominican women aren't like that. All the guys, there are some women here that are for your entertainment, if you know what I'm talking about. There's some in Boca Chica and in many tourist towns, there's some prostitutes. They're for your entertainment. Okay. That's what it is. I rarely, if ever, talk about that. So I don't think I would do anything differently other than probably learning Spanish. But I got lazy because no one gave a damn that I couldn't speak Spanish. Guys, listen, man. When I first got here, I saw this girl getting off this bike. She was fine as hell. I walked right up to her and just pulled out my phone and couldn't even say hello, and I got her phone number. And she gave it to me. So learn Spanish, man, but it don't matter. Learn Spanish, but it don't matter. When she come to visit you, she not coming to talk.
I hear that, man. I hear that. And speaking of learning Spanish, Ramona just said, join an organization to meet people.
I don't want to meet people. See?
But for some, go ahead, Q, go ahead.
Ramona has been here this whole time, and she still ain't realized that I don't want to meet people.
But I think now it sounds like, it seems like she's watching the part before,
right?
Like earlier.
Also, her message, it could be for other people. That don't necessarily. That don't mean she talking to me.
I think she could be talking to an ex-strolling. When ex-strolling was talking about, you know, moving here and like meeting people and stuff like that. So that is for ex-strolling. If you want to come here,
I'm telling you, learning Spanish. So many people, man, just trying to learn words. Do you have to learn a lot of words? Yes, but you got to learn how to read and how to write it and how to speak it.
Yeah, I tell you this. Hey, I register for a Spanish course at a university. I'm telling you, you'll meet a lot of people. You'll meet students. You'll meet faculty, and they're all professionals.
Bruh, learning Spanish opens up so many doors.
Yeah. They do. And
especially if you, bruh, I'm telling you now, the women don't care. But if you can speak Spanish, you'll have access to some upper echelon women. Because they ain't gonna talk to you if you can't speak Spanish. They're not gonna go back and forth with you on no translator. If you, bro, just regular everyday girls don't give a damn if you can speak Spanish. Will it be helpful? Yes, but they don't care. If you talk about meeting some professional women, they ain't gonna stand there while you on your translator trying to say hi.
They ain't got no patience for that, man.
No.
Nah, they don't. But I'll tell you this.
I've been to that barbershop, yes.
Well, where's that? That's in Boca Chica.
I hadn't been to the one in Boca Chica. I was in Santiago.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
it's not my thing, man, because I'm not a strip guy type of guy. So it just reminds me of a strip club. I'm not.
Yeah.
Strip. Growing up, yeah, I went to a strip club a couple of times, but bro, those girls are famous in the DR, man. Those girls, they do appearances at nightclubs all over the place.
Yeah.
These are girls who dance at the barbershop.
Yeah, I've seen them on Instagram. I wasn't looking for it, but they pop up.
Those girls are famous in the DR, bro.
Yeah. But I did want to say this though. Also, if you're moving here and you still want to work or earn some income or supplement the income that you already have, you can also teach English here. There's many English institutions that are looking for folks, native English speaking people. So that is also another opportunity that you can be exposed to a circle of professional people that you would normally have access to if you're just going to the supermarket and to the bar and so forth. So just want to throw that out there. But yeah, AQ, I mean that's it, man. You did a really good job telling your story and connecting your story to the importance of maintaining peace of mind, taking care of yourself, and good mental and physical health, man. So
thank you, sir.
So
you guided me all the way.
Huh? Man, you did it. I mean, you did a good job explaining all that stuff, man. I think a lot of folks who are either who live here or who are looking to move here or out of the country, or if not, just to come here part time, got a lot out of what you had to say. And that's why when I talk to you and I say, hey man, you during my transition, your information helped me transition here, helped me settle here. So one thing I want to say to you, thank you. From one YouTuber to another, thank you. So
you're welcome, brother.
So you're not just I know sometimes you may feel like you're on YouTube and you're just talking to the screen and you may not see a lot of interaction or whatever the case may be. But there's a lot of folks who are watching or who watch us later that'll look back at those videos that you did, man, and really get a lot out of it. And I got a lot out of a lot of your videos, man. So I hope you keep it up. I haven't seen any videos recently, man. I don't know what's going on.
I put my time into learning Spanish, man, about 3-4 hours a day, man.
Hey, man, share that experience. Because there's a lot of folks out there probably in this chat right now that want to learn Spanish but don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know what, man? I just recommend that people just start learning on YouTube. Just do whatever you can. Just start learning. But
yeah,
to me, what I'm doing now, I believe, is the most effective. Is interesting, and then I'm learning. I'm really learning.
Yeah.
How many people can speak Spanish and speak words that they can't spell?
Yeah, a lot. A lot.
I'm learning, bro. I was at the eye doctor the other day, and I'm getting my eyes tested, and the lady gave me something to read, and it was in Spanish. Everybody in there was shocked that I can read in Spanish. Mm-hmm. And bro, when I first started, it was hard. Yeah. But I can read in Spanish, bro. I can read.
Good, man. That's good. That's progress, brother. That's progress. That's progress.
I can read and understand way better than I can speak.
Yeah. Now, definitely.
Also, last thing I want to say, man. Learning and speaking Spanish, especially speaking, it takes some confidence, because when I'm out and I have to speak, I get nervous.
Yeah.
I kind of, bro, I was at the grocery store and this manager that worked there, she fine as hell, bro. And every day she smiled at me, man. She came to talk to me one day, man. I couldn't say hello. I couldn't say nothing. I just got nervous, man. So, bro, I got nervous. And I guess that's a part of my anxiety and all that. Bro, I was embarrassed. So, bro, the next day I saw her, I calmed myself down. She smiled and she came over and I said hello in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Asked her how was she doing, and I asked her name in Spanish. Then I told her my name. And she smiled and she said, "You did good."
It goes a long way too when you attempt to speak Spanish. That does help.
So, bro, I ain't try to stay there too long. I just said those 3 things, and then I got on out of there. And she smiled at me. Then I saw her talking to somebody about me and pointing.
Hey, man. Man, you got to put the effort forward, man. You got to put the effort forward. If you're lazy about it, man, you're not going to get any good results. But AQ, I want to thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming on the channel, man. I appreciate you sharing your experiences, man. Hey, Sasquatch, thank you. Hey, man, we do this. I do this because I want to share what I've learned so that some of you can have an easier transition, moving here or moving to wherever else you're going to. That's why I do YouTube. And because a lot of answers to questions that I had wasn't out there. A lot of people were doing these videos weren't answering some of the questions that I had. So I'm like, you know what? Let me make some videos so that I can at least provide an answer or an option for those of you who are watching these videos just like me. So there you have it. Thank you, Q. Thank you, Sasquatch, Ramona. Thank you, X Strolling, Gil, and everyone else out there who did not say anything in the chat or who are watching. All right. So thank you. I appreciate you. Go ahead, brother.
Thanks for the invite, bro. I enjoyed it. I appreciate it.
Hey, is there anything you want to go before you end? How people can follow you more, see more of you?
Man, the name of my channel is I'm Leaving These United Snakes of Amerikkka. That's the name
it's in the thumbnail. Yeah, it's in the thumbnail. Yeah. And what else? Anywhere else they can find you besides YouTube?
I ain't doing nothing, man. I'm kind of boring, man.
All right, brother. Hey, so if you ever out in Boca Chica, you see Q on the street, hey, stop and say hi.
Holla.
Appreciate it. All right. Hey, thanks a lot, folks. Thank you, guys. I'll see you soon.
Peace.
All right. Peace.